No, I need to scoot.
You can't go anymore.
Do I need
than
to sit on that bench?
I got you inside
Oh gosh, I think it worked.
now. Okay, my name's Wendy Brooks. I have my daughter-in-law Molly, my mother Penny, and my Aunt Pat here with me today. I'm gonna talk about why when you see a homeless person on the side of the street, you don't just give them money or something like that.
That's
Um,
right.
Today's day and age, especially in Asheville with the drug epidemic, 9 times out of 10, the people you see on the street asking for money and asking for help are not technically the type of homeless person that you think you're helping when you give them money.
Yeah.
Most of them are, unfortunately, addicts, people who don't want to help themselves. They want to continue that lifestyle. A lot of them people actually make more money on the side of the road with a big old sign as opposed to trying to go and find a job. Most of them, if you're giving them cash, you're feeding their addiction, therefore you're helping their life get worse and it's not helping them improve. Can't help it. And basically when you are trying to help a homeless person, you're trying to help them out. You want to make sure they eat. You know, your idea is you're trying to help them get somewhere safe. You want to see them with a roof over their heads, not living in the conditions under blankets on the side of the street or sidewalks or whatever. As a grocery store manager at a local grocery store and very good friends with a lot of local law enforcement from Sheriff's Department to APD, this has been a topic I've discussed quite a bit. Also in my criminal justice classes we've discussed this quite a bit. 9 times out of 10, homeless shelters are allotted so much money per quarter of the year. A lot of times, like during the winter or really hot during the summer, they tend to get overcrowded. They don't have the funds they need to help extra people while they're being crowded, trying to take in extra people to get them out of the heat or out of the cold. And if you truly want to help somebody, you want to either donate to the shelters or the types of resources that can help these people better and improve their lives. You got Habitat for Humanity that a lot of times will go in and either they can help them find a place to live, very low cost, so they can get on their feet. You've got the shelters that can temporarily put a roof over their head, plus give them all of the resource information that they need to help them find jobs, get on their feet, apply for health insurance, food stamps, different types of resources like that. But they're not getting that sitting on the side of the road holding up signs. There's also a generation of homeless people that a lot of times some of your younger people on the side of the interstate, you see the dogs, you want to give the dogs a can of dog food, stuff like that. They're technically not homeless. They choose to be homeless. They want to get out from underneath their parents' house, they want to travel, and that's their way to travel. It's not necessarily that they got down on their luck and they have to be that way. They choose to be that way because they want to travel all across the U.S., experience all this stuff, but they don't have the funds to do it because most of the times mom and dads ain't going to fund it because who's going to want to send their kids begging down the side of the road just so they can travel? And a lot of times, you know, 9 times out of 10, your parents want to see you get a job. They want to see you get an education. They want to see you be able to set your life up so they know you're successful when they're gone. And there's a generation of kids that just would soon not have that. So another point is when you're given to someone on the side of the street, and I see this a lot at my store, most of the people asking for money that tells you they're homeless, or they'll say, can I have a couple dollars, I'm hungry or whatever. I've had a lot of customers come in, buy them a sandwich, buy them some food, water, drinks, whatever. Even buy them a couple bags full of groceries, take it out to them, and the people get angry. They don't want the food. They just told you they're hungry, but they don't want the food. They want your money. They want your money, and we've had some actually get upset. We've had to intervene between a person trying to help out somebody and the person that they're trying to help because they got angry because they just didn't give them cash. Not to mention, you can watch people give them cash all day long. They come in the store, they'll buy their beer, you know, they'll steal anything else, and then go sit back outside and act like they're broke and they ain't had nothing all day long. We do have to run them off, but a lot of times, if you truly want to help somebody, you give to the resources of the places that help them. Even though most people a lot of times even donate clothes to Goodwill, places like that, a lot of times Goodwill's a massive corporation. They don't pay into helping them type of people. Just a simple donation of clothes. If you're a woman, you've got tons of clothes, your kid grows out of their clothes, their toys, whatever. There's actually shelters in Asheville that will take in abused women, women on the run, you know, trying to get away from being hurt, trying to get away from, by protecting their children, stuff like that. They can take in donations like that all the time. All you got to do is call like ABCCM, Salvation Army, our local homeless shelter downtown, and they can put you in touch with them people so you can give stuff to help them people. Because technically they're homeless too, but because of bad circumstances, and they don't want to stay that way. And they need to step up just to be able to get more help. There's veteran shelters that will help our veterans a lot of times. And, you know, donating to places like that helps veterans is a good place to help. Our local homeless shelter downtown is a really good place to take donations, blankets, gloves, socks, earmuffs, any kind of stuff like that. They gladly need and they gladly will take in any kind of clothes, food item donations, like non-perishables and stuff like that. You know, if you truly want to help someone better their life, you want to help them through helping the resources that can help them, as opposed to trying to give to someone that is not technically appreciative of what you might offer. A lot of people will be like, well, okay, if you say you're hungry, I'll just go get you food instead of giving you money, because you do have that fear that they're going to either spend it on drugs or they're going to spend it on alcohol and do stuff that they shouldn't be doing with the money. And unfortunately, with the drug epidemic in Asheville, that's for the most part what they do spend it on. For instance, the other day we had a gentleman and his girlfriend out on the porch of our store, and they were begging for money. He was, she wasn't. When she wouldn't beg for money, he got mad and he started hollering and screaming and cussing at her, and me and another manager had to get in between them, and we ran him off and offered her phone numbers for law enforcement, the shelter, places like that, to where she could get, you know, somewhere safe, somewhere away from him. And technically they both had an addiction, but she had been weeks dry, and the reason why he screamed and cussed at her was because she wouldn't beg for money, so he could take that money and go get high with. And we put her in touch with those resources and sent her with an officer so she could get to where she needed to be to do better for herself, because in her own words, she's been living on the streets for 2 years now, and he takes her Social Security check from her every month and spends it on drugs. He gets mad and beats her if she doesn't turn tricks to get money. He gets mad and beats her if she don't beg for money, and she has a bit of pride and don't want to beg for money. You know, she wants to be able to make her own way. While he steals 4 beers from our store, she paid for a sandwich with what little bit of change she had. You know, so technically, like, my argument and my thought is, if you truly want to help someone, you're going to give to the resources to help them instead of giving to an actual person themselves. Not to mention, the more you give to a person, the more you encourage them to be out begging as opposed to trying to help themselves. So, Asheville actually technically has a law against someone standing out holding a sign on the side of the road. And they technically have a law against people walking up to strangers on the side of the road, especially in downtown Asheville, to ask for money and to beg. But our sheriff chooses to not enforce that law anymore because our city council wants to bring the tourist population. They want to bring all these people to Asheville, but at the same time, your tourists can't enjoy downtown while they're being harassed. And it is very dangerous, especially if you don't know the area. If you are downtown, you can walk downtown and spend 10 minutes just walking down one road, and you'll have 5-6 people asking you. And if you don't give to them, there's been some that's gotten angry. Talking to one of my APD friends, you know, he's had to arrest a few that's actually assaulted people that wouldn't help him out or didn't give them but $1 or $2, and therefore it wasn't enough. And with them being addicts, they wasn't thinking. So they turned around and got angry and they assaulted the people because they didn't get what they want. So while most people think that they're helping someone that way, they're technically not helping them. They're hindering them. They're enabling them to keep doing this. And even if it is just an addict looking for money, instead of giving them money, you know, you want to help, maybe put the information in your phone for a shelter, or put the information in the phone for a rehab. That way, you know, if they come across you and you say, I ain't got no money, but if you really want help, I've got information. Information's the biggest help to someone like that, as opposed to helping them continue that type of lifestyle. Do we have any questions? No questions?
That was Nana's hand movement the whole time, like she had a question.
It,
That's French. Got
Way there.
Okay. Question.
we have tried to
So-
help people like that, and
so-
have actually taken them and bought them something to eat, and that's not what they want.
They just want the money.
Mm-hmm.
So what if you donate to, because there's a lot of programs that are set here in Nashville to help with people that are homeless, children that are, falling underneath their parents' mishaps. What do you do if that program is not giving enough help out? Do you think the community should come together a little bit more to help donate?
Yeah, I mean, even if the program in itself don't have time, one of the biggest donations you can do is donate your time. If you've got free time, you've got a day off, and you want to jump in and hands-on help with the project, donate time.
That's
Or,
good.
rally with the church, or rally with a group of friends, or, anybody and everybody that you can gather to jump in and help. Maybe they're so busy that they don't have someone that can man a donation area. If you can stand there for 3 hours and just accept donations for them, that's a lot of help.
Yeah.
Or
it is.
if you can just stand there and spoon some food on a plate, that's a lot of help, because the line's moving a little bit quicker. That's more mouses getting fed because the line is moving quicker. There's all kinds of ways to donate, whether it's time, whether it's you and a bunch of friends, or a church, or a whole community rallying around it. I feel like if our communities rallied around it a little bit more, we would be able to put forth a lot more effort into helping. And whether it's time, whether it's cooking, okay, you go out to eat for an evening, instead of what you had planned for that evening, cook that meal and, take it down there, or take it down there so they can cook it themselves, and that's that many more mouths you fed out of people who do want help, and people, who are looking to get up and do better. And then I do feel like if our churches and our communities could get with our law enforcement and maybe set aside one weekend a month where maybe as a big group walk around and pass out flyers for recovery centers, addiction centers, homeless shelters, just a paper with a long list of resources to pass out to these people that you see every day, day in and day out. That's a big donation in itself, because a lot of these people don't even know all the resources that's out there. Some of them are new to the area and don't even know where to go to find out these resources. And with our homeless shelter downtown, they only accept people till like X amount of time in the morning. So basically, you've got just enough time to shower, get up, get dressed, you pack, you leave, and then you got to hurry up and be online within an hour or two to hope you can get a bed. That's really strenuous on someone, especially if it's like an older person who's down on their luck.
Do you think they could do better with the programs that they're having to set up for?
They could do better, but then again, that's where our time or our money or our food kicks in with the donations. Because even though we get so much money from the state for them resources, it's never enough. Because if you look at it, try driving down Merriman Avenue at 6 o'clock in the morning. I can count 20 people almost that I see every single morning, sleeping on the same benches, the same sidewalks, the same doorways, all up and down, just from where I get onto Merriman Avenue from the interstate to my store. 20 people, and I see the same 20 people every day. Some of them has been banned from our store for good, and they stay away. Some of them still continues to come back. But just like at my store, we have an outside dumpster. If they're really hungry, they're in there diving for food. And the food that's in our dumpsters is food we toss away because it's out of other date or it's already rotten, like produce and meat mostly is in that dumpster. But that's the people you know that needs help. That's the people that wants help. They want to eat. They're just not out there holding up a sign to get cash to go shoot poison up their veins or smoke poison or drink it away. That's the people who actually want help. So the more we can donate to them resources, the bigger them resources can grow to help the people they need to help.
Is there any website or per se where can
A lot of times,
these people find the resources?
a
if
lot
they're
of
not
times
new to
if
it?
they go to a local church, churches have tons of information for them. And 9 times out of 10, a church will be more than glad to open the door, welcome you in, set you up with them resources, even help you make the phone calls for if the people can get to you, to come get to you, to take you to all the other resources. A lot of times, if you see someone that's down on their luck that needs a lot of help, you can find all kinds of resources on Facebook, Google. You can get all kinds of information on that for just whatever area you're in. It ain't even got to be actual specific. If you're on vacation and you're in Charlotte, you know, you can look all your area, whatever kind of resources there is in that area. Local law enforcement, they have a non-emergency number. You can call them and they can either give you the information, or if it's a situation where they feel like they need to come assist, they'll come to the person and give them the information, even pick them up and take them where they need to be. There's all kinds of places out there to find that information. And if it's something that you're truly, genuinely interested in, you can always call. There's, it's a number line. It's called 211, and you can call it, and they can tell you all the different resources that you can use, and they'll give you all that information. And if you wanted to, you could take the time, write it all down on a piece of paper, copy it out, and make flyers to pass out to people. 211's a really good resource to use, because that's basically what they are. They're an information line. Like you used to call 411 to get phone numbers or all kinds of information. 211's the same type of phone number that 411 is, but it's basically set up for specifically those type of resources to help people out.
You did wonderful.
Well, I
And
hope
you
it
knew
works.
what you were talking about.